Okay, I want to introduce you to what we're doing in the coming days. Your final's done with. Solve the system. Y equals okay, you have two equations on the same graph. Y equals negative 1/2 times x plus 2. Y equals 1/2 times x plus 6. When you have a system, that's what this means. It's a system. I don't care whether you write that or not. That allows us to actually find a value for x and y. Okay, it's made into a coordinate. Now what we need to do is graph both lines at the same time on the same plane. So I would suggest you organize your work with a table, and on one side you put y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2. On the other side, y equals 1/2 x plus 6. Okay. Alright, now we have both y and x in this equation, and the y is isolated by itself, so boom, I got my m and b right there. So slope, y-intercept. So the slope's negative 1/2, and then the y-intercept's plus 2. So on the y-axis, remember that's y, that's x. So you go up to 2 on the y. Then from there you go down 1, forward 2. Okay, then take a ruler and make the line. I have to use this little thing because I do not have a ruler at my house right now. Okay, that's first equation. All the points on that line represent solutions for the first equation. Now I need to go to the second equation and find out where all those are at. So you got y and x, and y is by itself again, so m and b. So slope 1/2 y plus 6. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then go up 1, forward 2. Okay. And then that lines up my next equation. And then I take my ruler and connect those. The points are going to be kind of in the same place. Okay, now you mark the point where the lines cross, which is right there, and then you circle that point. And that's going to be your answer. You just need to know how to label it. So let's talk about x. This is my x line. So 0's here. So the point is this way, so that'd be negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and I'm right under it now, so it's negative 4 for the x value. Then for the y value, that's up, down, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and there I am, I'm at 4, okay, right across from it, so it's 4, so negative 4, 4. There's your solution. Okay, now on the next one it says x equals 2, y equals negative 7. Okay, I don't want negative 7. I want that as negative 4 because your graph doesn't go all the way to negative 7. Alright, so 2, negative 4. So again, that's a system. Okay, now this is actually kind of easy, this one here, because you have x equals 2, that's the equation, and y equals negative 4. Well, to graph this, I'm not using a slope, because to use slope we need a y and an x. We're missing the y, so missing y, and that means we go 3 coordinates. Okay, so the letter I'm not missing is x, so x is 2, so 2, 2, 2, and the letter I'm missing, keep it simple, you can pick anything you want, but let's go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so on x I go 2, forward 2, up 1. You got to get the x and the y straight. Okay, x is across, y is up and down. So I go forward across 2, up 2, 2, 3. Go forward 2, then 3. Okay, so I make that line. I don't really need a ruler because I can just follow the line. Okay, now y is negative 4. Well, we have the same problem here. We're missing the x. Okay, so I make 3 coordinates. So y is the one we're not missing this time, so the y is at -4. It's a constant. And the x, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I go 1, -4. Okay, so that's forward 1, down 4. 2, -4. I go forward 2, down 4. If you already run into the line, that's okay. Then 3, -4. So I go 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the lines cross right there. There's already a point there. So x, y. Where's that at on x? Well, x is here. There's 0, 1, 2. So it'd be at 2 on x. Then I'm down. So it'd be -1, -2, -3, -4. And I don't care if you put those numbers, but that's a coordinate. You're at 2 on x, -4 on y. Okay, now, last one. That's it. 2x minus y equals -5. -2x minus y equals -1. So you got to be careful with these. This is confusing. Well, it's not hard to do, but it's easy to make a little mistake and have everything screwed up. So you just write the equation on each side. Now we have both y and x, but the problem is the y is not by itself, so you don't have your m and b. So we probably need to apply a multiplier of 1 in front of the y. And having a minus means it's plus -1. Now, that right there, the y term, I don't care about the x term, the y term cannot be negative. And if it's negative, you need to make the equation opposite. So, how do I do that? Well, the opposite of +2 is -2. The opposite of -1 is +1. The opposite of -5 is +y. Okay. So I line up my equals. I'll make a dot between the 1 and the y and just circle that. That has to be positive. Now you take out your -2x by adding 2x, but then you need an x term here. It can't go with 5. 5 is a constant. It's not multiplied by x. So I make a 0x and then I add 2x there. So I line up the equals. We got 1 times y. Then on x, 0 plus 2 is 2, and then plus 5. You got to put the 2x before the 5. Now divide everything by 1, and when you divide, if it's a whole number, divide it. If it's a decimal, you leave it. 2 divided by 1 is a whole number, so 2x plus 5. So MB. Okay, so slope y-intercept. So the slope is 2 over 1, and then plus 5 is the y-intercept. So on the y-axis, I go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from there, I go up 2, forward 1. Okay, then you take a ruler and make that line straight. Okay, now in the other equation, -2x minus y equals -1. Again, we have the same problem where the y is not by itself, so I need to get the y by itself. I apply a 1 there, and a plus negative, so that subtraction sign is an addition of a negative. But I cannot have this be negative. I need to apply the opposite effect to the equation. So the x term, -2x, goes to positive. And the 1y goes to positive, then 1 goes positive. See, we need that y term as a positive. Okay, so you take out your -2x first, make a 0x, and you take away 2x from 0. So you got 1 times y. Then you write down your x. 0 minus 2 takes us to -2. And then you have your positive 1. Okay, now go through and divide all that by 1. And when you divide something by 1, you never get a decimal. -2 divided by 1 is -2x. 1 divided by 1 is 1. So you have MB. So the slope is -2 over 1, and the y-intercept is +1. So I go up to +1, And then from there, I go down to forward 1. Okay. Wherever those lines cross is the answer to the system. Okay. And it looks to me like the crossing point is right there. So on the X line, okay, from the middle, remember the middle 0, -1, you're there. Okay, you're right, vertical from that point. -1 is your Y, is your X, my bad, it's X. Okay, then on Y, we're up 1 from the middle, 0, 1, 2, 3. So you're at 3. Okay, so it's back 1, -1, then up 3. -1, 3.